Hey there, fans of brotherly love wrestling. It is I, Vic Delicious.
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the Real McCoy, J.D.X. Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City.
Hey there, brotherly love wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready?
No! They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Okay, cool.
Welcome everybody to Brotherly Love Wrestling, and on the show this week we have a returning guest. Haven't talked to him in a while, so it's going to be good to catch up. We have the Real McCoy, JDX, Justin D. Xavier. Justin, welcome back. Good to see you.
Hey man, I'm glad to be back. I am glad to be back.
So we haven't talked to you it's been a minute. It's been a while since the last time we talked to you. And what we looking
for the poster? We would at least got a date.
It's
behind me.
Oh yeah, Black Wrestlers Matter posters are to your left.
Where's the second?
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe in 20.
It's been years.
It's definitely been years.
It's been years.
It's been years.
We're gonna go off of years. We don't know how many.
I would assume 3.
I'm gonna say
I would assume 3. Probably right before Black Wrestlers Matter Chicago, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Me and Josh C.
Yes, yeah. Because we had you guys go back and forth with the promos
for the title, right?
It's for the title, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think we definitely did it on the first, when it was who was going to be the first ever champion. Did we talk after that, when we wrestled again for the belt?
Yeah, we did the introduction. Well, we talked to you guys for our Unite series was the first thing we did. And then we got you back on when you guys were going for Black Wrestlers Matter and the title. And then I think with the promo battle was for Black Wrestlers Matter Chicago. I think that's kind of it.
Gotcha. Okay. That's still a lot.
Yeah.
I think a record for me, low key.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's my fourth time in South Lake.
You have had a lot going on. You had a show on MTV that you did an appearance on, which we haven't talked to you on this show about. If you want to talk about that, if you don't want to talk about it, it's cool. We don't have
absolutely no. Let's talk about it. I'm sure the listeners are watching.
I don't know. I don't follow main call. I don't follow MTV.
Oh, good.
So
this is gonna be I'm just gonna sit back and listen.
So it was what was the title of the show again? I can't remember what the full title was.
It was called Help I'm in a Secret Relationship.
That's right.
Help I'm in a secret relationship?
Yes.
Could they pick a longer friggin' title?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah, and
you can't forget the MTV's Help I'm in a Secret Relationship.
Yeah. So in the show, you're trying to figure out why your girlfriend at the time, she wouldn't introduce you to her family. And he was kind of beating around the bush, correct?
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
So I don't even know how to approach it. What went into all this? I mean, is this kayfabe? Was this kind of legit? Was it
he's not going to tell you freaking MTV secrets.
50-50 on both?
Let's just say that don't believe everything you see on TV. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I can't say any more than that. I could talk about what happened on the TV show, but
yeah,
as far as your question about it being kayfabe or whatever the case, that's
okay.
That would be my answer.
I was interested because as soon as I saw your face pop up, I was like, wait a second. I had to double take, I had to rewind it. I'm like, wait a second. I know that face. And then when I watched the episode, I was like, holy shit, like, man, this really sucks. Like, it gets they do their job well. They get you sucked into those shows. They know
Did you say it sucks?
No. I said they do their job well. They get you sucked into their shows. Like the reality formula that MTV can do.
It's like watching a car crash.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They know how to take the people that are in their show and really drum up the drama and the way they edit it. And it's mind-numbing, but TV that you can't stop watching. Because then after watching your episode, and your episode was the first one I watched, then I had to watch like 3 or 4 more because I got hooked in, and I was like, I got to stop doing this. I can't do it anymore.
That's awesome.
So did you do this?
I'm glad I can help introduce you.
Did you?
Go ahead. What was that?
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a delay, and now we're frozen. Now we're good.
Uh-oh.
No, you're good. So, did you do this to kind of take a career pivot, or just get your name out there, or just for shits and giggles?
So, to be honest with you, they kind of reached out to me about it. And at the time, I was definitely interested in, doing more modeling and also acting. So it was a perfect opportunity. And I had a girlfriend at the time that I, just coincidental timing. We'll say that I, needed help finding more information out about. That's how I would put it. Because they go and do detective work for me. Or they did. They went and did detective work for me and talked to some of my girlfriends, loved ones and friends and stuff to figure out why it was that she was hiding me.
So they got your family involved?
I highly recommend. Did they get my family involved? No, they got friends involved because most of my family is back in Chicago. So me living here in Minnesota, they just talk to like some of my friends and stuff.
They didn't talk to Ja?
No, they actually didn't talk to Ja. No. Nope. Not my foes. No, I love Ja. He's awesome.
So, I mean, aside from the MTV is obviously one thing, because we haven't talked to him forever. I wanted to.
JDX could be the next Miz.
I mean, look, he could be the next Miz. That absolutely could happen.
I would be mad at that.
But now, I mean, you've been bouncing around to indie promotions, obviously in the Midwest where you're from. Is there any maybe sniffs of a tryout? Where does the career look like it's going as of right now?
So as of right now, yes, that's what I definitely have my mindset on that. But obviously, like, there are certain things that need to fall into place for that. I've definitely had conversations with scouts at WWE, who I keep in contact with. I update them on my indie ventures and stuff like that. So right now, my main focus is doing promotions that have production, right? Like, are not necessarily per se like storyline driven. That is a huge plus, but definitely like promotions that are recording and uploading their content somewhere, so I can send my content off to said scouts and certain talent relation people in TNA and WWE and what have you. I actually did have a tryout back in 2022, actually, right after Black Wrestlers Matter, Chicago, honestly. And I went down there for a couple of days. I was actually down there from Monday to, I want to say Friday. No, Sunday to Friday. Sorry. It was the first ever indie wrestling WWE tryout. So flew down to Florida. Sunday, just flew in with my buddy. Our trainer, one of our trainers, Greg Gagne, hooked us up with it. He had been trying for years because he got Tiffany Stratton a job actually.
Oh.
So that was a huge, like, great, like, hey, I trained Tiffy, so you know, if I train these guys too, use them. So I get down there. Me and my buddy Rampage Santana, he's also like a local Minnesota guy here, is like my little brother and stuff. So we both got the tryout. We're down there. Imagine that, like having a WWE tryout with one of your best friends. So we're down there. Monday we start off, and you know, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I cut probably one of the best promos out of like the 10 people that were there, or whatever the case, for the indie tryout. And then we had matches and stuff, and I was in great freaking shape. They told me like 16 days, only 16 days notice. So like I was about as locked in as you can imagine for those 16 freaking days, right? Just because I didn't want that feeling of failing, right? Because you don't know when you're ever going to get the opportunity again, right? We're freaking 3 years removed from that, and I have not had another tryout. So me knowing that that was like an opportunity of a lifetime, me being only 4 years into the biz at that point in time, like I'm just like, yeah, like you won't be able to live with yourself if you didn't give this your all. So going back to the tryout, Monday happens, feeling really good. I have a tryout match in front of like Matt Bloom and some of the rest of the PC folks and stuff, people watching and stuff. Me and this guy named Invictus Cash from out in Seattle, Washington, really stellar talent, who's unfortunately retired at this time. He's still young as hell, but that was like his last, like, you know what? I don't care anymore. Sorry, is it okay to curse on here?
Of course.
Okay, cool. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, me and him got to wrestle each other. We were pretty familiar with each other from like being in Atlanta and stuff, going like to the Nightmare Factory a little bit. So that was awesome to be able to wrestle him. Actually, Carl Fredericks was in my, what is this? Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe was in my tryout. Dragon Lee, Harley Cameron, who's now in I'm not TNA, AEW.
AEW, yeah.
Trying to think who else. Brogan Finley was in my tryout originally. Trying to think of who else. If I didn't say Dragon Lee already, he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know, good group of people. And Tuesday happens again. We cut promos. The writer team, they're telling me, dog, like when you get signed and stuff, we already know what to do with you. They was telling me like, oh, like, dude, you're like Trick Williams. Like you got so many bars, but it's like, okay, we just got to figure out which bar to end on. So I'm feeling great about it. We wrestled in front of HBK that day. So everything's feeling good. But there's a big elephant in the room. Hurricane Ian. So we're hearing rumors and murmurs that, hey, the tryout might be canceled the next day. And so I wake up the next day, and that's exactly what happened. They canceled Wednesday. And it was supposed to be from Monday to Thursday. And then literally on Thursday, or Friday, I'm sorry, it was either Thursday or Friday. It was going to literally tell us if you were hired, right? So I'm like, there's no waiting game with this. I'm like, I'm finding out, right? So Wednesday happens. It's a hurricane. They say, yeah, the tryout's canceled for today. We might do a makeup session on Friday. We might just keep you guys, since you're already here anyway. It's like we might just do a makeup session. So Wednesday happens. I'm back at the hotel just studying film, just watching some of actually like Jordan Miles, better known as ACH. I'm watching like his breakout tournament stuff. I'm just staying locked in the zone, not eating crazy, just like, just mentally just there, just like taking it all in, thanking God for the experience and being there, the opportunity and stuff. And then Thursday happens and they say, oh, it's canceled again. So then, that's when the doubt starts creeping in your head, like, okay, what's happening? Have you heard anything? Hey, have you heard anything? So making a long story shorter, basically what happened was they ended up telling us, we're just going to send you home and we'll call you guys next week. And like, we'll just go off of the 2 days that we saw you guys. We'll make our decisions based off that. So I get back in Minnesota on that Monday. I'm doing my shoot job, which was also pest control, just for a different company. So kind of like now, I would leave my personal phone in the car and then I'll go service someone's home or whatever the case, right? And so I'm just literally, every time I go do a house, I come back in the car. Did they call? Go do a house? Did they call? Go do a house? Did they call? Just literally waiting. And after about 2 damn months, you just come to the realization that, bro, they not calling. They're not calling you. Like, no answer is an answer. No response is a response, right? So it's just like, yeah. Because there was such a bad hurricane, like people that live down there, like their houses got messed up and stuff. So the last thing they freaking worried about is some indie wrestlers that, aren't probably super high on their radar in the first place. But Dragon Lee did get signed. Eddie Thorpe got signed. Broken Finley got brought back for a tryout and then later got signed. So, but that was about it as far as that group went for that tryout. So, life's unfair sometimes, and it's just how it goes. So I am trying. That was a very long-winded answer to your tryout question, but yeah, that's what I'm currently trying to do. Not necessarily just trying to get back to WWE, but like TNA or wherever else I can get in. Ken Anderson has really been helping me with that lately. That's one of my trainers. So he's been, trying to put me in contact with some of the people that he know that, have jobs in higher places and stuff. So I'm grateful for that. And then Greg Guy is always doing his thing behind the scenes as well, trying to get me another tryout someplace, somewhere. So
nice.
I'm just trying to do my part, stay in shape, stay ready.
Yeah, good to see that. Yeah, I mean, you're keeping the hustle and still have your eye on it. Because you look at what the landscape is, it's much different from when the world opened back up and the indie scene then to what the indie scene is right now. Because like we had that explosion of indie wrestling and then took like you said, like WWE started hiring for a small period. They hired all the indie guys because they were trying to compete with AEW taking up and swallowing up all the indie guys. TNA was signing people. So like you had that whole rush and kind of depleted the indies. And then they had this now resurgence of now you have companies that went out of business because of COVID, those smaller companies that maybe couldn't sustain themselves. But now you got these power companies. You got the bigger name companies, a GCW, a Pro Wrestling Revolver, Beyond still coming back. You have these big names that are like the pillars of their certain geographic locations. And like with all them there, of course, PWG over in California too. Like there's so many things going on with that. But these little companies that are not little, but smaller than those big names, seem to be pumping out a lot of these names that will be like a feeder into like a feeder company. You know what I mean? Like it just those levels of indie wrestling that with fans you don't get to see, like you said, doing those bookings that are being in production and actually whether they go on Triller or they're getting put on YouTube or whatever it may be. That's the smartest thing, I guess, an indie wrestler could do because then you're getting out there to the fans and obviously to the scouts as well.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask,
go ahead,
to see what your thoughts were on what's going on in WWE with your former training partner, with the Nightmare Factory owner, Cody Rhodes. From when you were there to as far as he's come since then, there's been a big jump with Cody. And what your opinion is on how far he's come from that point of training you to now being handed the keys to the company, finishing his story, holding the title, losing the title, like
WrestleMania,
everything that has happened. I assume it has to be cool to see after, getting to know him on a different level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been unreal. Unfortunately, like I left right after he wrestled Seth at 38?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 38. Yeah, when he debuted, that's one of my all-time like favorite WrestleMania moments and probably one of my favorite like wrestling moments in general. Just like hearing that wrestling's only got one more, or whatever the hell it says. Wrestling's got more than one royal family or whatever the case. And then hearing that music, seeing him come up, it was just like, am I seeing this for real? And like I was hearing rumors and stuff. Like I was hearing like down in Atlanta and stuff from like people that were signed to AEW, like about Cody potentially showing up at Elimination Chamber and stuff like that. So, everybody kind of expected it, but like to see, him wrestle Seth, like I believe he wrestled him at Backlash and then in that Hell in a Cell with the torn pec and stuff, and actually see them give him the keys, because I honestly wasn't convinced. I really wasn't. I was like, this has that potential to, like, not that Cody's not that guy, but just like I could see them ultimately putting him back in a place of like where he was before. Like I was like, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if he did get knocked back down to like the mid card. So it's really cool to see that that's not the case. That he's been like
things for him. That would have crushed.
Yeah,
him.
absolutely, no, for sure, for sure. But it's a part of the gamble, man. Like him, it took balls to do what he did. So shout out to him for doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about Cody. I was like, when I was like around that time, actually, when I was doing the like the MTV stuff, I was also in the running to like, was it to be on the cover? I don't remember. It was something with Playboy, like being a male underwear model for them or something like that. And like, I remember Cody donated $500 to help me, like, because like you had to get people to vote for you. And so like I put it in our like Nightmare Factory group chat or whatever the case at the time. And then Cody was like, should I donate? That man donated literally $500. So just to help me, like, which it really did. I believe I came in third place, like out of, I'm not sure how many, but it was a lot of people. Just imagine, it's Playboy. So he really helped propel me. Like, and like the votes went to a charity. So I believe that's also like, of course, helping me, but also like, giving back to charity and stuff. So can't say enough good stuff about Cody.
Yeah, I got to say that when it kind of came, because obviously Mania coming to our city in WrestleMania 40, and the ultimate ending to WrestleMania obviously is going down as one of the greatest ends to a WrestleMania of all time. I mean, to see that and to be, I mean, we were in attendance for it, to be in that stadium for it. I just, the goosebumps, the chills, that everything that was involved in that night was absolutely, it's everything you want as a wrestling fan, honestly. Like it's what you have as a kid. It's what you want when you're growing up watching it. Like it's everything. I mean, it has to be that kind of stuff, especially from people that you've worked with or trained with or something like that. That has to drive you even more to kind of be and get to that level.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Like that's literally like a modern day, like boyhood dream type of feeling, like him having all white on and stuff. Like it was really cool. Really cool. Finishing the story.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, as far as aside from Cody, the wrestling business, especially when you look at AEW, you look at WWE, and the parallels that people try to keep them on the same length. Obviously, you see the disagreement in Joe's face, but
they'd be on the same length as like NXT, and even then, that's a stretch.
So he is very negative when it comes to AEW because he doesn't like the style. Am I wrong?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I don't get the parallel. There are no parallels. Like do you watch both?
Do I watch both? I tune in.
What are the parallels? One's going this way, the other one's going this way. That's not parallel. That's perpendicular.
So what I was saying, the parallels are of professional wrestling. It's a TV product of professional wrestling, and the lack of storytelling in Joe's eyes is what the biggest thing that I think not only Joe, but a lot of people have looked towards when it comes to AEW not stacking up, because they have the money. Like obviously Tony Khan has the money, but the production that they have, the lack of storytelling that a lot of people look at, and the bloated roster and people that are just going unused is a lot of those things that obviously annoy Joe to where he doesn't want to watch, and a lot of people don't want to watch.
It's like there's too much going on at once. Just simplify.
What would be an example, Joe, to you as far as like this, like too much going on?
So they're good at like having, well, it's kind of like sped through. There's like no direction for one. I know they try to like intermingle certain things, but you end up forgetting about one thing and the other. How they would have an interview, but then flash to the back because something happened when you're like trying to get invested in the storyline, and then they just cut. Something else is going on. John Moxley's causing a ruckus or something like that. I feel like that it's just that the talent have too much control. There's no organization.
For sure.
It's just I grew up a wrestling fan, so I was big into stories, big into invasion angles, anything like that. Big drama. Brett, Austin, Michaels, Austin, everybody. I mean,
heck yeah.
There was just a lot. It was when there was chaos, it was controlled chaos, and it was orchestrated correctly. I'm all for chaos, but I want it to make sense.
For sure. No, that makes sense. I like that. That's a good answer as far as just being able to focus in on like the storylines that are actually happening and not being so like sporadic and random and stuff.
Either that, or if you're going to tout to be the best wrestling company, just do wrestling. Just kick ass at fucking wrestling and make everything like kind of like ECW back in the day. Just make everything just like get some characters and just have them be great at wrestling. Just get some characters going. Someone with some personality.
For sure, but don't you think that in order to be a character, there does need to be backstage like skits and
absolutely, vignettes are important.
Right, vignettes would be agreed.
Vignettes are one thing, but I don't want to be sent somewhere else by the camera when one thing's happening. Like they've done that numerous times.
Sure.
Where they'll use the back as like kind of like, oh, we're going to talk to this person, but wait, we're actually setting up something over here.
Yeah.
It's like
right. So it doesn't give you closure in a sense with that segment or whatever the case.
Yeah, because there's people like, I remember, I'll say one specifically was Hobbs and Starks, and that feud was started and stopped like immediately. And they didn't put any focus.
For
like that was one of those times, and this was a while ago, obviously, but it was one of those times where you're just like, finally something to grab onto because there's turmoil. Now let's hear what they have to say and let's get it going. And they didn't.
For sure. No, I get that. I think that like I'm not sure if did Ricky Starks get hurt during that feud or something? Maybe.
I think it might have been when Hobbs got hurt at that point.
Did he?
Okay. Because I know like something similar like that happened with MJF and Cole. Like that was a great storyline. I really enjoyed that. I actually just watched their match earlier back from All In Wembley, but yeah, like we never got. Unfortunately, like that just like got sucked right from under us when Adam Cole got hurt. So, yeah, that type of stuff sucks when you don't get closure from storylines. But sometimes there are those uncontrollables, such as like injuries and stuff. So, yeah,
and that's completely understandable.
That's one thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's completely understandable. I get that injuries happen, and they have definitely flashes of like really good storytelling. I'm not going to take it away from AEW. Like the people that you're saying, like MJF hasn't put together really too many bad storylines. He's phenomenal on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's very polished. It's just getting people to that, either get them to that level or don't. But don't try. Don't like start, stop, Or just do the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Just be great at wrestling. And that's it.
For sure. Nah, for sure. Yeah, I think MJF doesn't get enough credit for how good he actually is, to be honest. Like, when you think about it.
Do you think that's because he's in AEW?
It could be, for sure, because he's not necessarily like a household name or whatever the case. But even with him being in AEW, I feel like he should still get more credit. I don't know. Like, just thinking about, like, being a performer and thinking about, like, when I watch his promos, like, to be able to go in there and do, like, a 10-minute talking segment, go toe-to-toe with a CM Punk or whoever, you can put any person in there with it, Bobby Lashley or MVP or whatever the case, right? To be able to go in there and do that, stand toe-to-toe and say, like, memorable lines and not just be like a filler-ass promo, to go out there and do that and then, like, still have really good freaking matches and just overall have a great program, like, dog's freaking, again, underrated. He's fucking amazing. But, like it's not talked about enough. Like, he's I want to say damn near Roman Reigns level good, but dude's good. He's for me top 5 for sure in this.
So here's the thing
When it
about
comes
that.
to, like, full package.
Yeah, he's one of 5 or maybe one of 3. I don't know, but with MJF, I feel like he's done it all. He's done it all in the medium pond. Like, if he showed up on Raw, I think people would be soon familiar with that name.
Agreed. Yeah, I think he's definitely a person that can make the jump and, like, without a shot of it out, he would go to Raw or SmackDown.
Go even higher.
Like,
Could be even higher.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Would AEW be anywhere you would go?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, I would go there. But that interest has to, obviously that has to be there. They don't do, I don't want to say they don't do the same thing that they used to do, but I feel like that opportunity, like that ship, I don't want to say it sailed, but I believe there was a window of opportunity, like when I was actively at the Nightmare Factory and I was actively being on Dark and stuff like that. And at the time, that was 2021. So that was literally 4 years ago. So, like, I just didn't realize it at the time that I just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't. Just like from the, yes, I did pretty good at, like, for where I was in the business with those opportunities and stuff. But just looking back on it, it's like I wasn't good enough at selling. Just like little stuff like that. Like, which is not little, it's a huge thing. But it might be like to the casual fans, like, to their understanding, they might not understand how important it is to sell for, the signed talent. Because I remember there was a time where I wrestled Dante Martin, right? I trained with Dante Martin. We literally started on the first day at the academy here in Minneapolis, right? So I'm in there. I'm like, this might be my opportunity. Because guys at the time, like Lee Moriarty, what is this man? His name? Darius Lockhart, Ricky Starks, guys were being given opportunities. Warhorse, I'm trying to think of some other indie darlings and stuff that were huge on the indies that were getting signed, through doing dark matches and stuff like that. It just seemed like a little formula and stuff, and we like to be optimistic, and it's like, okay, is this that match they're giving me to see? And so, like, when I got to wrestle Dante, not saying that was literally that opportunity, but I'm like, I don't know. Because I was there consistently. And so when I wrestled Dante and Leo Rush was out there, Dante being my boy, like, he allowed me to get some offense in and stuff like that. And so we had a really good back and forth up-tempo match, right? But the problem is he was signed. I clearly wasn't. So I remember getting back to the back and talking to QT about it. And he was like, JD, like, how was your match? And I was like, oh, it was pretty good. He was like, who was your agent? I was like, oh, Serena Deeb. He was like, what did she say about it? And I was like, oh, she said it was really good. We had great chemistry and yada, yada, yada. So, like, I was feeling great about it. And then I asked QT, I was like, Coach, like, what did you think of it? And he was like, it was good. It was really smooth. He was like, but there wasn't a lot of selling. And when he said that, I was just like, damn. if anybody needed to be selling, you know what I mean? It was fucking me. And I also remember like talking to like Baron Corbin, who's also a long time independent wrestler, but was very active in AEW at the time. He was like one of the coaches as well, one of the assistant coaches at the Nightmare Factory. And he would literally tell me that too, like, bro, yo ass don't sell. Like, and I didn't realize it. Really did not realize like that I wasn't selling people stuff enough. Like I would sell, of course, right? I wasn't no selling, but just like there's levels to selling as far as like registering and you know, actually selling and stuff. So especially when you're there to put guys over on TV and shit, you know, like you're an enhancement talent for a reason. So I was blurring the lines of like, this is my opportunity to fucking get signed. Show Tony Khan what I can do. And, you know, so I wasn't ready. Basically is what I'm saying. So yeah.
No.
AEW, to answer your question, yeah, it's a place I would love to go, but yeah, the opportunity has to present itself in a sense. And it seems like the only way to do that is by becoming as big as possible. Hence why I'm trying to, you know, do more promotions that do production so I can be bigger.
So I did want to follow up because you said obviously about the selling, and I watch a little bit more AEW than Joe does. I'll tune in and I'll fast forward through things just to see like I watch AEW for things that I like things that intrigue me. I'll stop and watch. The things that I don't like, I just won't watch because I still want to watch it, but I don't want to hate watch it. I don't want to bitch about it. Like I'll just tune in for the things that I like. So, and typically it's MJF and it's the Hurt Syndicate. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with
okay,
those
cool.
guys.
Oh yeah.
But
So
I happened to catch Kota Ibushi on Dynamite last week, and that intrigued me because I loved Kota Ibushi when he was with New Japan. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this match. I can't wait to see him wrestle. And like, I had to stop myself from being annoyed watching it because he does that Snapdragon suplex, and they do it.
Yeah.
They do it to Ibushi, and he no sells it, gets right up, and then he does it. And like, you don't see that in WWE, and like, I guess that's the reason why. And I know like you're the same way. Is that like that bothers me? Like that kind of stuff of the no sell right away. And I know there are different levels of wrestlers who can pull that off, who can no sell. Look, he's wearing a shirt of a guy who it was his gimmick that you could hit him with a chair and he would just take it. Like, I get that there's certain points of that, but I feel like in AEW it's more prevalent on almost every match, and you get those guys like Ospreay, like Kota Ibushi, if you want to throw in Omega and stuff like that, to where like it bothers me because I don't get the scale. Like, where does it end and where does it begin? Where, as a viewer and as a wrestling fan, like, how do I buy in if you do this devastating move and the guy just stands up in your face and then does it back to you, but then you sell it? Like, that kind of removes me from the match when I'm watching.
Okay. That makes sense. Absolutely. I understand that. I think it's kind of like those group of guys that you kind of stated. I think like Okada, you could probably put in there, probably even Takeshita, maybe even a Kyle Fletcher, just like those up tempo New Japan, like 5-star banker guys that, you know, yeah. Because I don't feel like you see like a Moxley doing that or Cope when he was there. Like, try to think who else. But there are a fair share. Like, I get what you're saying. It's like if everybody's doing it, then no one's special in a sense.
Yeah.
At least that's what I got from it. And then it also kind of it takes your disbelief. Oh no, it makes you disbelieve.
Yes.
Like because our job is to suspend the. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like our job is to suspend people's disbelief, and when you see stuff like that, it's like sometimes I completely understand that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not done well, it can take you right out of it for sure.
Yeah, so I do and Joe brought his name up. Is there any potential of a JDX frontman return match? Is there anything like
Always.
we can talk to? Like, this is a match that is one of our favorite indie matches throughout the past years, and like I feel like
Thank you.
we're missing out on a JDX frontman, another match, another classic.
You know, it's funny. We actually were talking about it not too long about like potentially trying to get a extended storyline going at one of the local Minnesota promotions here called MAW. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I would love to wrestle John. We literally haven't wrestled since then, actually, in 2022, which is crazy. So would love to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you have coming up? If you want to plug whatever you have coming up, get your name out there,
Yeah.
see where we can see you.
Absolutely. So I'll be at Fight Championship Wrestling. I believe that's July 19th. I'll be, and that's in Des Moines, Iowa. It'll be the that promotion's second show ever. Really great production there, like banners and guardrails. Looks freaking legit. So EC3 will be there. I wrestled in the main event of the first show ever for their Fight Championship against like Isaiah Moore and Rafael Quintero, if you know them guys. Trying to think what else I have. Ironheart Championship Wrestling. Here in not Ironheart Championship. Ironheart Pro Wrestling? Here in Minnesota, I'll be defending my championship next month. No, not next month. I'm tripping hard. July 28th. Thinking about the last show, but yeah, July 28th because we're now in July. So yeah, July 28th, I got that. I'm going down to Texas soon. I'll be making my Texas debut for another promotion called Iron, but this one is Iron Warriors Pro Championship. So I'm excited about that. I believe it's in Denton, Texas. So it's like right above Dallas or Arlington or something like that. So go Cowboys, huh? Hey, congratulations to you guys. I'm guessing you're Eagles fans. Congrats. That's I was rooting for them in a bowl.
Belts to asses,
cool.
baby.
Hell yeah, no, they did. They sure did. But yeah, those are the media shows that come to mind.
So when are we getting JDX in the Northeast? Is that maybe a thing in the future?
That's a great question. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to wrestle in the Northeast. I just got to do my due diligence as far as trying to make that happen. I've really been sleeping as far as like reaching out to promotions and stuff. That was a part of my game that I kind of fell off on hard. Like just like kind of coasting and stuff as far as like not actually reaching out. And I guess a part of it is like that fear of rejection. You just getting tired, like getting no-sold, getting left on open and stuff like that. So, but it's a part of the game. You gotta send them DMs out, and it's like going fishing. Just gotta keep putting them out there, And so, actually, I've reached out to the Iron Warriors, and I got that one. So
there you go.
Well, we know a couple of promoters around these parts. Maybe we could put in a good word.
Yeah, 100%.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that, Joe.
So, Jay, it was so good to finally talk to you again. Excuse me. Good to talk to you again. Good to see you again, obviously. We hope all the success, and hopefully more sooner than later, we can see you on the TV again. But until then, good luck with everything going forward. And thanks once again for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for what you've always done for me, as far as like sponsoring matches and stuff like that. Can't thank you guys enough for that type of stuff. So, and always, being great supporters and, having me on. So appreciate you guys.
No problem. So thank you everyone for watching, listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be talking to you soon. Don't take any shit from anybody. See you guys.